Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Telcoin or TEL. And before we jump into this video, I just want to ask guys to hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And with that in mind, let's just dive in and let's talk about TEL. So I haven't really done a breakdown on Telcoin, but I have been talking to you guys about it for a little bit of time, telling you guys how undervalued it is. I'm going to be addressing exactly why I do foresee it being extremely undervalued. As we know, Telcoin has since hitting its all-time high dropped over 90+%. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be addressing it now. This is a coin that launched back in 2017, and since then they have been building out their entire ecosystem. We actually do see, we see right around this range. This is exactly where I was actually jumping into Telcoin. Now, I didn't do a 10x on my investment. I did roughly like a 5x or so, which is still very good. I mean, it was like around like the April timeframe where I was really kind of diving into TEL. And then less than 1 month later, this did a massive run, similar to even Zio or XYO. I was in both of them around the April time frame, and they both did great runs within the summertime. It was incredible. And now I just re-entered my position on Telcoin since taking my profit at around it was like roughly 4 to 5 cents where I was selling Telcoin, and now I just re-entered. And we're going to be talking about why I just re-entered this position and why I do believe that Telcoin is extremely undervalued. I'm also going to tell you guys exactly where my stop loss is and where my next entry points would be if we do hit it. So, with this in mind, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. But first, I just want to really quickly say, do not be scared of the circulating supply and the total supply. All of this actually powers the ecosystem use cases that are on Telcoin, and we're actually going to be talking about their tech stack. But also just to give you guys a quick breakdown on what Telcoin actually is. Well, essentially, this is a company that is focused on low-cost DeFi products for every mobile phone user. Hence the name Telcoin, telecommunications, if you will. Now, they are talking about financial inclusion. They have been focused on that area for a little bit of time now. And we do see, nearly a third of adults worldwide lack bank accounts. Telcoin recognizes the power of digital for spreading financial inclusion and is driven to bring affordable user-owned financial services to mobile phone users across the globe. Now, again, there's a lot of use cases like this in crypto. I'm not going to say that this is extremely unique. I just think that where they are focusing is a very unique areas, hence the mobile phone users. Because this actually gives anyone with a mobile phone the power to essentially join in the digital revolution behind payments. That is actually happening right now. Just recently, we've seen an article released where Bitcoin actually settled $13.1 trillion in 2021, surpassing Visa's payment volume. This is why I say that digital assets are essentially becoming the pioneer in terms of payments, which exactly is why I'm saying pay attention to Telcoin. They have been, really, I would say, gathering their resources, and they have been opening their doors to some major partnerships around the world and expanding globally. As we do see here from Telcoin, the entire Telcoin team is thrilled to announce that we have gained membership in 2 important business communities in Singapore: the Singapore FinTech Association and the Blockchain Association of Singapore. These groups will undoubtedly open doors for the company in Singapore and across the region, and we've already partnered with or are actively engaging a number of existing members in each. This is great. I love to see expanding, business partnerships around the world because it allows Telcoin to essentially be part of a global revolution around payments. Now, the best part is that they are focused on mobile phone users. There's 5.2 billion mobile phone users. There's $2 billion in daily transactional volume around this specific area, which tells me that they are going after a fairly large market. And I always like to say, what if they could grasp 10%, whatever the case may be, right? It doesn't really matter, okay? All that matters is, in terms of where Telcoin is going, short-term or long-term, I do foresee an incredible opportunity here. Now, just to really quickly, be transparent with you all, no, I'm not being paid by Telcoin. No, I'm not being incentivized by them. I am talking about Telcoin simply because I see the value behind something like this. Now, if you go to Telcoin's website, you will be met with this homepage. Now, this homepage basically breaks down exactly what Telcoin App is. We do see low-cost, high-quality financial products for every mobile phone user in the world. We do see down here, welcome to the Telcoin app. This is where you can basically secure, deposit, trade, send, and receive your digital tokens all on the Telcoin app. This is great because this is essentially, a crypto-powered Venmo or, Cash App or even PayPal. This is great because, again, it puts the power in the individuals' hands that do want to make these cross-border payments that are fairly quick and, low cost. I mean, at the end of the day, remittances in general, in terms of just the retail individuals, we want them to be as cheap as possible because there's a lot of individuals from third world countries, receiving payments from their family in, like, for an example, the United States. And, those, payments need to be as low cost as possible in terms of a transactional fee. And you guys can see, the transaction fees are like roughly $7 to send, $1,000, which is pretty significant. I mean, this is trading, by the way. This is not sending. The sending fees are like $2.40 over here, and there's no, fees to obviously receive. But I'd rather pay $2.40 in terms of a transactional fee than pay PayPal's fees. And there's also like Cash App and Venmo that do charge you fees on your payments. Again, you got to really kind of look at the benefits here. I mean, it's instant settlement basically, and when you look at this, I think that this is just incredible. And we do see down here, send money to 16 countries and counting with Telcoin app. And here you guys have those supported areas. Now, in general, like I said, this is not an extremely unique use case. There's use cases like this in crypto right now. The difference here is that at the end of the day, this is not their only use case. This is just one part of it. The other tech stack is TELx, which is their decentralized liquidity engine. And then you also have Referral, which is a settlement network on Telcoin's network. So all of this is, made possible by Telcoin. And when we look at things around this specific use case, things get pretty interesting. So we go look at the Telcoin platform. And here is where you guys can kind of see their mission to provide every mobile phone user in the world with access to high-quality user-owned financial products. Here's the platform goals, self-custodial financial products empowered by mobile network operators globally, by which I want to talk to you guys a little bit about MNOs, right? These MNOs are the ones that are actually receiving a lot of the TEL that is in circulating supply and also total supply. They actually do hold this in terms of, powering this entire use case tech stack. And we also do see our globally adopted self-sustaining financial infrastructure with scales to meet the demands of a global user base, empowers everyone with a mobile phone regardless of capital and technical sophistication to access products, add value, and earn incentives. And we do see down here, you guys can see the breakdown of TEL, the Telcoin app as well. TELx. Now, TELx and Referral are where things kind of get a little bit interesting here. So I actually have both of them open over here. So here's TELx, the decentralized liquidity engine of the Telcoin platform, power a global marketplace of user-owned financial products, take control of your assets, and pay yourself. Now, I'm not going to open the documentation about TELx, but if you guys do want to read more about it, you guys are more than welcome to. Also, just so that you guys understand, you will not be finding a white paper on Telcoin simply because since upgrading their entire system to v3.0, they've actually killed the original idea on their mission statement and have since then, basically changed everything. But we do see down here it's powered by, all of these major networks. TELx launches with 2 user-owned decentralized products, the SMS network and TELx Change. We do see participate by depositing liquidity into the respective pools on the designated protocol. And of course, you guys already know the gist of this. You earn essentially on this. You guys do see the total liquidity, staked liquidity as well. Like I said, you guys can check out all of this if you want. This is, like staking. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. And we do see TEL Exchange is an, user-owned decentralized digital asset exchange powered by, active Telcoin users on an automated market-making decentralized exchanges. You guys do see the total liquidity and staked liquidity here as well. And it's pretty much broken down into, you have this tech stack of one, the Telcoin app, which is for retail individuals. And then you have, the DeFi protocols. The DeFi protocols, in my opinion, are what really drives, the success of a lot of these networks. DeFi itself is definitely something that I look at as a massive value driver behind a lot of these networks. And we do see TELx is designed to power services like cross-border money transfer, digital asset exchange, and more instantly and without relying on intermediaries. TELx decentralizes liquidity provision to Telcoin users on self-custodial DeFi protocols, enabling them to earn the native platform asset TEL and capture fees that would typically go to financial institutions. TELx miners earn fees from compliant, intuitive end user products on the Telcoin applications. And here you guys have the entire breakdown here. I don't really need to go in depth on it. You guys kind of get the idea here. I might do a little bit more of an in-depth viewpoint on things like this, on how to earn passive income and things like that. But I definitely think that this is a very interesting use case to not only incentivize users of the platform, but also individuals that are holding TEL. And last but not least, I do want to talk to you guys real quick about Rivendell. So here you guys have the Rivendell network, scalable blockchain financial services for mobile networks. Rivendell is an open Ethereum sidechain run, validated, and secured by mobile network operators. Here you guys have it, an ecosystem to power telecom, mobile financial services 2.0, domestic payments, international remittances, asset exchanges, lending and money markets, regulated securities, full stack financial applications as well. This is basically the driver of success behind a lot of these use cases on TEL. You guys do see here, GSMA, full member MNOs have the exclusive right to run transaction nodes and earn network fees. This is where a lot of the TEL actually goes. This, and we actually do see here, Telcoin TEL issuance is provided to Rivendell node operators to incentivize the growth of a secure, compliant, efficient financial platform. This is why you have a large amount of supply on Telcoin in terms of TEL, but a lot of it is actually being, the power source behind all of these protocols and these use cases on Telcoin. Now, real quick, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about the team, and then I will talk to you guys about the price chart. So first off, the team is 100% transparent. You guys can go read about all of the entire team over on LinkedIn. You guys can see the full breakdown on them as well. If you guys go to people, you guys can see where they live, where they studied. You guys can go to the next page, and you can also see, what they do, what they studied as well, and then what they're skilled at and how you are connected as well. Now, with all this, I just really want to talk to you guys, a little bit about the CEO. So here is Paul Neuner, the co-founder and CEO at Telcoin. Now, the interesting thing about this individual isn't the idea that, he's just the CEO of Telcoin. Let's talk about his past experience. So, Sedona and also Mobius are again, telecommunication, basically use cases that are doing some pretty significant things within solutions of the mobile networking. Now, all of this combined with what we are seeing in terms of Telcoin, I do believe that Paul here basically seen the idea on how could we drive the success of crypto and really kind of power, mobile phone users, aka the retail individuals, to have, a major stepping stone into not only DeFi, but also just crypto in general. And I think that that's where he takes his experience with these companies and kind of brings it right into Telcoin to really kind of disrupt the financial inclusive zone, as well as really kind of just bring a massive tech stack to mobile phone users. I mean, most of the things that we see in terms of crypto is always just kind of on a PC, right? Like, for an example, I know that I was staking some crypto and I had to utilize my my actual computer instead of my mobile phone. Imagine if everything was just interconnected through your mobile phone like it is with Telcoin. That's where I think that, there's a huge sort of, bridge that is kind of closed off between the retail individuals and crypto. It's not that easy to get into, a lot of things around crypto. But this is actually something that I could foresee having a large amount of, demand and success around because of how easy it actually is to not only jump in, but also utilize almost all of these efficiencies around, the Telcoin app, even, around TELx as well. I think all of this is great, and I think that their tech stack is extremely disruptive for a lot of markets, but also I do foresee a large amount of success around Telcoin. Now, let's talk about my short-term goals and let's talk about my long-term goals. So, as I was saying, early on in this video, yes, this thing is down significantly. So, first off, I'll show you guys on the weekly chart where we came down to. So real quick, let me just show you real quick how far down we came. So 97.30% we came down to, let me move this down on the bottom here. So there we have it. So roughly 97.30% down from our current level that we retouched down here to our all-time high is roughly almost a 36x. Now, I entered in, it wasn't even at the exact bottom. I think it was like maybe like around this range that we're almost at now. But I do foresee me accumulating more of this. My stop loss is down here at almost like, it's roughly like 1/56 of a fraction of a cent. And, where I really kind of foresee this going is, well, I'm waiting on, the all-time high. The all-time high is essentially my goal right now because, hey, I will take a 35x all day long. Where will I initially sell off? Well, I'm looking at a 10x opportunity. Like I said, it's not my entry point at the bottom here. It's like roughly around here, I would say. I would say basically at the bottom where we are now. In terms of a 10x opportunity, it's not even at the all-time high, and it's about, a 1,000 obviously percent of an increase in price, which is significant. But you guys do see that we have a little bit more room to grow in terms of the all-time high. Now, like I've said, we'll most likely have a retest of this bottom figure here, as a lot of altcoins right now are bleeding out. And, even if we do come down to test, now, why do I have this line down here, this red line down here? Well, that's essentially our point where we kind of tested back in 2021. Is there a lot of support there? No, absolutely not. I would actually foresee that the major support area is at this 0.00052 level. That's why I do have that stop loss in place. If we do break down below this, then I'm eyeing these levels down here for a buy-in point. But I'm hoping that this level actually does hold. I'm hoping that we actually kind of hold around our range right now, because even at my entry point, which is basically our recent price action move, if we actually look at the chart here, I'm eyeing this 1272 area, which is going to be a 72x opportunity if we can eye that. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to be targeted. I'm just saying that this is the next fib level after the all-time high. So again, in my opinion, I think that this is a conservative range. Obviously, yes, the amount of X's on this in terms of gains is insane. But when you look at where it is currently from our all-time high, it's really not that much of a move. Now, again, this is extremely oversold in my opinion. We do see the RSI reaching down to the lowest point since going back as far as March of 2020. I think that this one was extremely over leveraged in terms of selling. And, I do foresee this almost bottoming out if it hasn't bottomed out already. I really do think that when we look at the chart right now, we could come down a little bit lower. I do have a stop loss in place. Like I said, this is my stop loss. If you guys do want to, take note of it, you guys don't have to trade like me. I'm just telling you guys where I'm, having a stop loss at, just in case we do break down below that. But I definitely think that the upside potential on Telcoin is pretty significant. Now, this is my short-term targets. My short-term targets are, again, the 10x opportunity, which would be this significant resistance zone that we hit back in November of 2021 as well, just recently. This has also been a resistance point since breaking down below the all-time high, going back as far as like June of 2021 as well. Now, since then, we haven't really recovered that great. We had a nice little run in November, but besides that, we didn't really have a significant move. Now, there is a few resistance points that we do have to break out of before we even do get, excited. But this is basically my short-term target. It's just this 10x opportunity at roughly the, 786 fib level. Now, from here, long-term vision, I would say long-term vision could be as high as like roughly the 1618, which, by the way, just so that you guys know, this would be a massive move. This is, at the end of the day, a 265x opportunity if we do get to that point at some point in time. But to me, I think that the all-time high to about, the 17 cent range is somewhere conservative. I think that is the level that I'm really kind of eyeing right now. Like I said, this thing is down significantly, down 97%. It's insanely oversold in my opinion. And of course, the levels after, we break down below this, line is labeled here. From there, if we do lose this point, then we have some pretty significant lows to test. But In my opinion, I think that when we look at Telcoin, with everything that they have going on for, I think that this is going to be pretty significant in terms of the mobile user stack. And with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I do hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.